Hey, it's Kelly Alexander, joined by Will deVry of General Hospital, a.k.a. Mr. Julian Jerome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for spending time with us on the show.
No, thank you for having me.
I have to start off by saying a lot of my audience is actually worldwide, but they know I am a Montrealer. You are a Montrealer.
I am.
What is it like being back home in the hometown doing this fan event?
Well, I think it's great. Obviously, anytime you can come back to Montreal is awesome. I know these guys wanted to come. Mm-hmm. Of all the Canadian cities that we could go to, this is, I think, everybody's number one destination. It's funny because I don't know, Jason's from Edmonton, mm-hmm. but he's like, man, I just really want to go to Montreal. And somebody asked him yesterday, hey, how about an event at your coffee house in Edmonton? He's like, oh, I don't know. Montreal, sure.
So how does it feel, being a Canadian actor and doing so well in the States? You've obviously been on a few soap operas, and now you're on General Hospital. You've been on there for a couple of years now. Do you feel like this responsibility as a Canadian to do well now that you've gone kind of abroad, if you will?
I don't feel like a sort of I need to make Canada proud responsibility, if that's sort of the question. Mm-hmm. But I just want to succeed. I certainly didn't get into the business to hang out and not get paid and mm-hmm. work at a restaurant. I mean, I got into this business to work, and I think there's a belief system there that some people have that you just, if you do it, if you commit, you're going to make it, and that's sort of how it went down for me. And but I love it when I come back to Montreal or Toronto. Excuse me. Like, there's a lot of work in Toronto, mm-hmm. and did a lot of work for the CW in Toronto. Did a lot of work for did some HBO shows in Toronto and stuff like that. CBC, I worked. I've done a series for CBC for 2 years called Insecurity. So it's great when I can come back to Canada and work. So I don't prefer U.S. to Canada, but whoever wants to hire me, I'll be there.
What does it feel like being on a legacy soap opera like General Hospital, which has been on for more than 50 years, and also being such a key character because the Jerome family has been on that canvas for so long? Yeah,
the Jeromes have been around for 20 years. They were sort of disappeared from the canvas, I would say, for quite a few years, mm-hmm. and then I'm back, and it's fun. I think the fans enjoy having history come back to the show. I don't think they're really keen on new characters anyway. They tend to fast forward through new characters.
It's true.
And then I get that a lot. I'll get people say, oh, God, I love you. I have to admit, though, I used to fast forward your scenes when you first came on the show. And I'm just like, well, you missed a lot of good stuff. They're like, I know. I'm kind of sorry I did that. So, but, people... I think, listen, 52 years on the air, mm-hmm. You're doing something right, and the fact that we're still surviving is great, and it's great to be there and working with people like Tony Geary, who's won multiple Emmys, and Maurice Bernard, stuff like that.
Being a daytime actor, I've been a fan of not only General Hospital, but Young and the Restless for years, for over 20 years.
Wow.
And I find
but you're like 22 right now.
That's it, exactly. I was 2 when I started.
Yeah.
But it's funny. I've noticed, when you read certain press, a lot of daytime gets, poo-pooed by mm-hmm. other, media, I would say, by, it's not, really that important. But you guys are. I find you guys are like the workhorses. And I don't think people realize how hard you guys actually work on set.
Yeah, we do. No film actor could possibly handle our workload. Never. I mean, it just doesn't happen. I mean, we had a lady... I forget her name right now, but she was the mom in E.T.
Okay.
And I can't believe I forget her name right now.
I'm forgetting her name too, so we'll forget together.
She came in for a couple of episodes for a flashback to the beginning of the show. It was a black and white show, and she was just flabbergasted. She just couldn't believe how fast we moved. Wow. We're like the sweatshop of the industry. I mean, we do 5 to 8 episodes a week, generally 8. And it's tough work, but we set the table for the networks, for the prime time. I mean, we definitely set the table. We bring in a lot of money. The production costs are very low. Mm-hmm. And so if you can generate some good revenue on a low budget, you're doing all right. Mm-hmm. And you're profitable to the network. So, I think four is a comfortable number for the amount of soaps on the air. I don't think you really need more than 4.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if I saw like a 5th one come on somewhere.
Okay.
But just if we, keep growing our numbers, which they're growing right now, we're making sort of a resurgence in demo and audience members. So it's great, But it is what it is, and it takes a little bit of time to sort of rid yourself of that stigma if you want to go back into prime time. It does.
Do you feel that you guys have a really strong and solid cast, and like that you guys are, because you have a really big cast. I think a lot of people know that General Hospital has a lot of
About
actors.
20. I think we've got about 28 cast members that are on contract.
And how do you guys feel? Like, is it a really solid team? Because I know, for example, our radio station, we have about 10, 12 people, and we feel pretty solid as a team. How do you guys feel?
Yeah, I think we've got a great cast. I mean, certainly with 4 shows left on the air, you're going to get the best, daytime actors, and they bring it every time. I mean, we've got, some fantastic actors. It's great to work with them.
Before I let you go, what message would you have for your fans? Because I do think that soap fans, daytime fans, are a different breed than other fans because of the fact that we see you 5 times a week as opposed to like a Scandal where we see them once a week.
A lot of people feel like we should know them. That's the funny thing, because they see us 3-5 days a week, and when they meet us, they're like, my God, it's so weird because I feel like you should know me because I know you so well. And that's just what it is. Being in somebody's living room 5 days a week is truly sort of a special situation. It's not like prime time where you're like, hey, I love your show, but you're kind of part of the family when you're in daytime.
Right. I would totally say that.
It's like you're a celebrity if you're in prime time, but you're part of the family if you're in daytime, and that's really kind of how it boils down.
That's awesome. Will, thank you for
Thanks,
your time.
Kelly.
We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us. Bye, guys.
Will deVry of General Hospital right here on the Kelly Alexander Show.